Everyone, welcome to the Tech Tutor. I'm Vuejs, and today we are kicking off our exciting 7-part series on Vuejs. So whether you are new to Vuejs or just want to brush up your skills on the basics, this series is designed to give you a solid foundation on this most powerful JavaScript framework. So let's dive right in. In today's video, we'll be covering the essentials of Vue.js, including its core concepts, setting up our development environment, and creating our very first Vue.js project. By the end of this video, you will have a solid understanding of what Vue.js is and how to start working with it. First things first, what is Vue.js? Vue.js is a progressive framework used for building user interfaces and single page applications. It is designed to be incrementally adaptable, meaning you can use it as much as you want or as low as your application wants. Vue.js is known for its simplicity, flexibility, and ease of integrations with other existing softwares. Vue.js focuses on the view layer, which makes it a great option for building interactive and dynamic user interfaces. It's built around a core library that is easy to learn and integrate. And it also has an ecosystem of tools and libraries to help you build powerful applications quickly and efficiently. Next, let's set up our development environment. We'll need Node.js installed and npm installed on our local machine to get started with Vue.js. If you haven't installed them yet, just go to nodejs.org and download the latest stable version of Node.js from there. For Node.js and npm, we can use Vite to create our fresh new Vue.js project on our local machine. So just open up your terminal and run npm create vue@latest. As soon as you run this, it will ask for a project name. So let's just give it a name, tutorial test 01. Now it will ask you to add TypeScript or not. TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript which enables a type check on your program. So just for now, let's just skip it. Now it will ask you for JSX support. So we don't need a JSX support. Now it is asking add view router for single page application development. So no, we don't need that also as of now. We'll learn about all these things later in this series. It is also asking for Pinia for state management. No, it doesn't need that also for this tutorial. Now it is asking for Vuejs for unit testing. We also don't need this. And we also don't need any kind of testing solution because this is just the starting. Yeah, so we can add ESLint for code quality. So ESLint is a linter which gives you a preview of errors and bugs on your code. Yeah, we can also add prettier. Prettier will format your code to make it good. So once your project is created, just open your project in your code editor. Okay, so just let me think of my Visual Studio Code. And then what we can do is we can open up our folder. So it is located inside the main directory. Under users with Vuejs, and you can see tutorial 1 folder here. Once we are into this folder, what we can do is we just open our inbuilt terminal here and just run npm install. This will create a folder called node modules, and under node modules there will be all the dependencies you need to run this Vue.js project. You can see in the package.json file there are few dependencies over here. like ESLint, which we were added during the project building. We need the Vuejs, which is a command line for compiling Vue.js projects. Then we need some linters, and then we need prettier, white of course, and the view, right? The view is in the main dependencies, and you can see all the other dependencies are under dev dependencies. So all of these things we only need in the development part. We don't need all these dependencies in the production. So it's included in the dev dependencies. One more thing, you can see that there is a scripts part. So what is this? This is some script made for you to run your code from command line, right? So if you check, there is a dev, there is a build, there is a preview, there is a lint, and there is a format. So if you run a dev, it will quickly give you a quick compilation of your changes in your project, of the changes in your project. Okay. And if you run build, it will compile all your code and it will create a build folder from where the application will run in production. If you hit preview, it will just run a server which you can use to preview your changes. For lints, for the lint command or format command, I'll talk that later. So let's just wait to finish this installation, then we will continue. So now let's create a simple hello world app so that we can see and feel how Vue.js works. So open the app.vue file and find and replace the existing code with this code which you are seeing in the screen. Now after replacing the code, just save the file and you will see the changes in your browser. Congratulations! You have just created your new first Vue.js component. Okay, as you can see, the installation is now been completed and you can see a folder called node modules over here. You can see plenty of folders came into this under this folder, and these all are the dependencies we need to have to run Vue.js, right? Okay. So after the node modules folder, you can see a public folder. So in the public folder, all the assets like images, audios, videos, texts will be hosted over here so that it can be accessible publicly, right? After that, you can see a source folder. Now this is the important part, and this is the main folder of your Vue.js application, right? Here you can see two files. One is app.vue and one is main.js. So let's talk about the main.js first. So main.js is the root folder, is the root file where your Vue app is instantiated and initialized, right? Here you can see we are importing a CSS file and we are importing a method called createApp from Vue, right? And we are importing app from app.vue. This app, you can see, this is our app.vue file. So now what we are doing is we are telling our Vue.js to create an app from this app.vue file and mount it to the app div. Okay. So if you want to see where is the app div now, then you can find it over here. Here is the index.html file. It is a simple HTML scaffolding, and what we have implemented over here, we have just created, not we have created, Vue CLI created an app div, a div with ID app and a script which is a type of module, and we are importing the main.js file. So what is happening is in this HTML file, your total Vue app is mounted to this app div. So whatever code we will write into our Vue app, all of the code will be placed beneath this app div, right? Okay, so let's start by starting up our Vue.js server and open it up on our browser, right? So to start our server, we need to run this command npm run dev. This will start a Vuejs-based development server on a local machine. So if you just click on this by pressing a command in Mac or control in Windows, you can click on this and you can see there is a fresh new installation of Vuejs, and this is the app.vue file. So now, as I said before, just open up your app.vue file and replace the template with this. And if we just hit open, hello Vuejs, welcome to the dev tutor. If we just hit this, you can see there is a new update pushed into our browser. So now if we just open up the browser, you can see this is automatically changed to hello Vuejs, welcome to the dev tutor. So now if we just open our VS Code again and just remove all these unnecessary stylings, then you can see this is looking like same. But because here is an assets folder where is a main.css file. If you remember, we were importing this main.css into our main.js file, right? So if I just stop importing this, you can see all our stylings are gone. Now this is a default HTML which is showing hello Vuejs, welcome to the dev tutor. Congratulations again. Now we have seen how to create your first Vuejs component. That's it for today's introduction to Vuejs. We have covered the basics, set up our development environment, and created our first Vuejs project. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates from the dev tutor. If you have any questions or any kind of doubts, please feel free to comment down below and I'll do my best to help you out. For a more in-depth tutorial on today's topic, please visit thedevtutor.com. You will find detailed guides, code examples and many more on the website. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.